Welcome to Vintage Video at the Plant. I'm David Mossner. I grew up in Janesville, Wisconsin, which became home to a General Motors facility in 1918 when the company purchased the factory turning out Samson farm tractors. It started building cars in 1923. In addition to being the biggest employer in town, it was also responsible for other businesses built to support the large assembly line. It was hard work at a good wage. While in 1981 no one knew it, but my classmates who went to work at the plant were part of the last generation to work there as GM shut down the line in December of 2008. When I returned to Janesville as a reporter, a friend of mine asked a favor, that I interview workers as they headed to their cars at the end of the shift, instead of trying to find one of them in a nearby tavern. I followed that advice when covering stories at GM, including this story, which announced a shutdown at nearly the same time new trucks started production.
The medium-duty truck line was a victory for Janesville's General Motors plant, but as truck number 1 rolled off the line, the 420 workers on the second shift rolled out the front door with it. General Motors says a national downturn in orders for medium-duty trucks is the reason, but say they expect a recovery.
So we're into a temporary situation here, we believe, and the long term we think for this truck is going to be very, very good.
Schweibold's confidence in the truck is echoed by some workers who think once it's on the market, the truck will sell itself. All the same, today's news didn't come as a big surprise.
Workers that know that our livelihood and business is one that adjusts to the marketplace, I would say that it was not totally unexpected. We're still enthused. We've got, the positive side is we've got a new product in the plant, and now we've got to get it out into the market to where the public will accept it and buy it. And we're very optimistic that it's going to, long term, is the right thing to do, that we're going to have full employment.
Before the trucks came to Janesville, company leaders decided to end car production around 1990 in favor of the more popular SUVs. I was there when the last Chevrolet Cavalier came off the line.
It was a slow trip down the line for the last of the Cavaliers, inching toward the door as workers stopped to watch.
It's really sad to see an end like this, but I guess that's progress for you.
Probably end of another era here. We're looking forward to the truck, and it's been a very good car to us.
The truck is GM's Suburban line, and it's the second Janesville victory in 2 years. 1989 made this plant the only producer of medium-duty trucks, and as workers put the finishing touches on the last Cavaliers, many are already looking forward to building Suburbans, Jimmys, Blazers, and crew cab pickups.
I think our plant will be real secure after we get our new product line in.
The medium-duty line and the Suburban line, 2 brand new products. We're the only producer of those products, and both of those will be built at world-class quality.
Quality and cooperation between labor and management here are 2 main reasons given for Janesville's plant getting the Suburban and holding a strong place in GM's future. A future quickly taking shape as crews moved in to dismantle the car line. In its place will be all new equipment for light-duty truck production, giving workers 6 months off. Second shift worker Terry Stickles made the farewell sign for the last car.
I'm going to miss the people, I think. I'm going to enjoy the time off while I have it.
Making the forced vacation easier to take is the union contract that pays workers 96% of take-home wages during the layoff.
Well, I hope to visit my son in Seattle, and I hope to visit my people in Mississippi and do some cleaning and stuff around the house.
I'm working with paint.
The new line is scheduled to be finished by April 15th for training and testing. The first truck off the line for public sale is scheduled to come next September. Dave Mossner, WISC News 3 at the GM plant in Janesville.
The plant employed 7,000 at its peak in 1970, but was down to 1,200 when it closed December 23, 2008. All those jobs created other jobs, and many of those employees who called Janesville home made a difference in the community as well. Partly because workers knew they could be laid off at any time, creating personal economic uncertainty, a large number of them worked together to distribute food for the holidays.
Santa's sleigh was a delivery truck full of groceries, unloaded and stacked high on tables at the GM Union Training Center, where 200 volunteers grabbed grocery bags and started packing.
It's something I can do for the maybe less fortunate people that can't afford a good meal, and this gives me a good feeling to help out others.
Workers at the plant donated more than $6,200 to buy the groceries, enough to provide 2 weeks of food to 275 families.
It makes their Christmas a little easier and a little nicer. It's not just one meal. It's enough for the holiday period.
And in making other Christmas times brighter, the volunteers find themselves enjoying the glow.
Oh, it gives you a good feeling to deliver them and see all the people that are unfortunate.
It gives me the joy of seeing caring and sharing.
Norbert Stevies worked at GM 38 years. This is the first time he's helped out here, but he's made Christmas volunteering a yearly tradition.
I'd just like to help other people. I do this all year round.
Christmas, ho, 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 huh?
This is the 15th Christmas GM workers have made the grocery deliveries, taking food as far as Madison and Monroe, into all areas that GM workers call home.
So that people can have the benefit of the gifts at Christmas that I feel is necessary.
Appreciated at this time of the year, and we thank them.
Dave Mossner, WISC News 3, Janesville.
The next story isn't about the plant, but it's one that did impact forgetful drivers in Janesville when city police announced they would no longer open cars with keys left inside.
Last year, Janesville police were called to unlock cars nearly 2,500 times, but the courtesy calls are ending, partly because it's tougher for the cops to break in.
Since 1984, when they started putting locks in the front of the door, it's gotten more difficult. Usually I try to work on them about 5 to 10 minutes, and if I can't get in, I stop rather than take a chance on damaging it.
Unlocking cars has never been a priority for Janesville police, but with more and more calls coming in, it's too tough to keep up.
So we've been getting not just an increase in numbers, we've been getting damage, we've been getting complaints about delays and unresponsiveness.
If you walk away from your locked car with the keys inside instead of in your pocket, don't call police unless it's an emergency.
It's been a long time coming, but it's it's about time that they did get out of it. Cars are getting more complicated to get into, and you almost have to be on it every day to figure out what the different cars are, to how to open them up.
After Sunday, local locksmiths will charge you about $25 to get back in your car if you lock yourself out. So what you'll want to do is either hide your key someplace or always take it with you. Dave Mossner, WISC News 3, Janesville.
When the Cavalier left, trucks moved in. By 1992, Janesville was the only GM plant making large SUVs like the Suburban.
One worker says it's like going back to school after a long vacation. The changeover to the Suburban line is finished, and the layoff is canceled for medium-duty truck workers. 4,800 GM employees are now back on the job.
We've been off, like I said, a long time, and I think people is ready to come back. They see that layoff was a little bit more than what they could take.
Their union contract calls for laid-off workers to get 95% of take-home pay. But after taxes are taken out, it's a lot less.
You get behind, and now checks will be regular again, so everyone will be glad.
It'll be a big help. Yeah, Christmas is coming, and bills are there, so get to pay for them.
For others, the money's important, but so is having something to do every day.
It's been 9 months since everybody's been back.
I think it's great. Everybody's been off so long, and everybody's ready to get back and start building.
I guess I like getting back because we're building a really good truck, and it's a well-built truck, and I think this thing is going to sell, and I can see a lot of overtime scheduled for us, so yeah, I'm ready to get to it.
GM officials didn't want our camera inside the plant, saying the return of the workers is no big deal. But it is to the area's economy. Rock County has led Wisconsin in unemployment, but with GM back on the job, that unemployment rate will drop 5%. Dave Mossner, WISC News 3, Janesville.
Labor Day is a big deal, especially in places like Janesville with a large union presence. While the annual parade was on hiatus for several years, I was there when it came back downtown in 1991 after a 15-year absence.
Picking up where it left off, the heart of Janesville's Labor Day is beating again.
It's been going from 1952 to 1976, and then it disbanded for financial reasons, and we just felt that there should be a Labor Day celebration in the area, and that's why we got it all back together again.
Together in a big way thanks to private and corporate donations, 11 marching bands, and 250 floats. A lot of folks saw the fruit of Janesville's labors at the GM plant as the new Suburban made its debut. Others like the old stuff, the memories of Labor Days gone by.
It expresses the thought of the working class of people, the way they do things around here, and this is what life is all about.
For some who don't remember the old days, Labor Day is simple.
Parades are fun.
There should be more fun next year as organizers promise to shower even more of a Labor Day parade on the crowds in '92. Dave Mossner, WISC News 3, Janesville.
All production stopped in 2008, and by 2016 it was for sale. New owners took over the plant in 2017 and started tearing it down the following year. That's it for this edition of Vintage Video at the Plant. I'm David Mossner. See you next time.